Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is a physique update from Nick Walker, and as per usual, Nick is not in search for the best possible lighting. He picked this spot outside of his house, I guess, and there are no shadows pretty much anywhere on his body, and at this point I'm kind of starting to wonder, could he be doing this on purpose? I mean, even if this was a physique update for his coach, I still wouldn't be happy with this kind of lighting because this is not even close to what he's gonna look like on stage. And I'm not saying he should find like the craziest lighting possible with crazy shadows, that Derek Lunsford lighting. No, I'm not saying that. But this sort of lighting, this is basically, the lines are all blurred. I mean, there is no light coming from one direction, so this is not what it's going to look like on stage, and you can't really get an idea of how good he actually looks. So again, he could be doing this on purpose. Maybe he's trying to lower the expectations a little bit, because people do have really high expectations from Nick at this point, because he skipped 2 Mr. Olympias and he talked a lot. He said basically that he's still a top 3 bodybuilder in the world, that he can still beat all the other top guys, and people are kind of waiting to see if his actions are gonna match his words. But even before, guys, if you remember, every time Nick prepped, he was always looking kind of underwhelming compared to what he brought to the stage. I mean, the last example was the New York Pro, and we saw him at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, and he definitely showed up much better at a New York Pro, and it was like that basically every time. He never really posts crazy photos under crazy lighting with some editing and stuff like that. No. He always ends up looking better on stage compared to his progress photos, his updates. So right here in this one, what we can see is, I think I can see that the legs are looking bigger. I'm gonna start with the positive. I think his legs are actually looking bigger, the adductors are looking really freaking thick, and I think the outer sweep as well is starting to look a little bit more exaggerated. I don't know if his legs are gonna stay like this as his prep goes along, because he's not even close to being in shape right now. He does have a lot of time, 17 weeks I believe, so he's basically just starting his prep. But yeah, I think his legs are bigger than they were before in the off-season, so I think he actually did put some muscle on his legs. I think so. Now, as far as the upper body, of course, arms, as always, super massive, shoulders, fine, chest here looks a little bit flat, but his chest was always a weak point for him, and right now he's in those beginning stages of the prep. He started his prep a week or 2 ago, and at this point he's probably depleted, as he's dieting. He's not full of food, he's not bulking, but fat is still there, so he's kind of fat and flat. I mean, not really fat, but he's not in shape, so the flat body parts are gonna look flatter, and that's his chest. Legs, again, are looking good considering the situation, but chest is definitely looking kind of deflated a little, but also the lighting. You gotta consider this lighting, it's horrible. If it was a better lighting, and if this was in the gym after training, the chest would look so much different, and I'm pretty sure we would be able to see even some separation. But yeah, here it's kind of looking flat, and then we come to, the most important part of Nick's physique at this point in his career, in my opinion, and that's his midsection. Now, in this variation of most muscular, he's hiding a part of it, basically a half of it, with his hands, but you can still see a large portion of his midsection, and I don't know, guys, I'm not expecting him to have a tiny waist, not now, not 1 week out, not on stage, but I am kind of hoping that it's gonna be better. Maybe it won't come down in size, but if he controls it better, and if his abs are still symmetrical, well developed, maybe he can create an illusion of having a decent midsection. You can't really say based on this photo. You can see his abs, and it's a wider waist. It's definitely a bigger midsection, but here you can't really see if it's bad or good. But you can see the rest of the physique. Again, the lighting is horrible, but it is what it is. You get the idea basically where he's at right now. Do you guys think he's going to be at his absolute best ever this year? I don't know, guys. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of Nick Walker, but from what I'm seeing, I kind of feel like his best is behind him. 2021 Arnold Classic, and I would say 2022 Mr. Olympia are his best looks so far. I really can't see that he can come back and look that good as far as his midsection and overall aesthetics. But can he come bigger than ever, more conditioned than ever? Yeah, but does that mean that he's better than ever? I guess that's very subjective. He's run his best in 1998 or 2003, but in Nick's case, because of his waist size, I don't think he's going to be at his best this year, even if he's at his biggest and most shredded. I think, his waist was always an issue, but it was good, small enough back in the day, and it seems like at this point it grew a little bit too much. But I hope he proves me wrong. We'll see in about 17 weeks from now at the New York Pro, and actually the Pittsburgh Pro before. Yeah, he has another show before the New York, so less than 17 weeks. We'll find out soon enough. You guys tell me what you think about this right now. Alright, next up, we got a very interesting physique update from another New York Pro competitor, Blessing Awodibu. That's right, Blessing is doing the New York Pro. I don't think he announced it officially yet, but Stefan Kinsel spilled the beans on Fuad's podcast. He's prepping half of the IFBB Pro League, and he has everybody written down in his calendar, and he read that to us. So Blessing is doing the New York Pro, and this is what he looks like right now. And the last time we saw a physique update from him, we were all like, did he bulk too much? Did his bulk go too far? And yeah, he kind of seemed a little bit chubby, but I was okay with that kind of body fat percent. I was like, if you want to put on maximum amount of growth, you need to do a really hard bulk, and that's my experience at least, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case with Blessing here. But as you can see right here, he's already in decent conditioning. I mean, for 17 weeks out, this is definitely good. He's not shredded, but he doesn't need to be shredded at 17 weeks out, right? I think his body fat percent is perfect right now. What I can notice as well, for sure, other than those crazy, insane biceps that you gotta pay attention to. I mean, Blessing right now probably has one of the biggest biceps in the IFBB. There is the question, of course, whether those biceps are real or not. We're going to talk about that as he goes lower with the body fat percent, so we can actually see what it looks like. But I don't know, man. Look at the forearms as well. This kind of looks like it's edited. If it's not edited, I mean, is this muscle? Why are his forearms looking like this? This is crazy, man. Anyways, whatever he's doing to his arms and forearms, they're looking insane. But we can also see the most important thing that we need to see on Blessing right now, and that's his legs. Because that was the weak point that held him behind. That, and also not nailing the conditioning when it mattered, like at the Mr. Olympia. He did bring it for sure at the Indy Pro, New York Pro, the shows that he won, that he did well, but against the top guys, the best guys, he never delivered. But it's not only the legs, it's also the conditioning. Hopefully this year he's going to bring conditioning to his Olympia qualifier and to the Mr. Olympia stage as well, and hopefully his legs will be big enough. They're not going to hold him back too much. And we can see exactly what they look like right now after he did his off-season. By the way, this kind of lighting is perfect. This is the kind of lighting I want to see from my clients. Black background and the lighting that is coming from one direction, ideally from a little bit above your head, so you can see the shadows of your muscle. Like, you won't be on stage on day lighting. I don't want to see those kind of physique updates. Like, I want to see some lines. I want to see what you would look like on stage. So this is the perfect lighting to take a photo for your coach, but he also ended up posting this. I'm pretty sure this was meant as a physique update for his coach. Let's go back to legs now, and I definitely do see progression in those legs. They are not going to be the biggest legs on any stage, but they look improved for sure. And the judges will notice that for sure as well. And I think he just improved his legs that much that they're actually kind of matching his upper body now. And he never had an issue with the legs from the side and from behind. It was only from the front. The quad sweep, the quad shape wasn't very good. And it's still not the best, but he gained some muscle to it. He gained some tone, some roundness, some fullness, and it looks better. We'll see what it's going to look like once he gets in condition, but here it definitely looks good. Much, much better. Improved for sure. Here's a side pose as well. So the legs from the side are actually looking really good. It's because like he has the thickness in the legs. He has the size, the density, but his shape with the quad is, kind of like a lot of muscle in the upper portion, and then as it comes down to the knee, the sweep kind of starts to disappear. So you can see that he's shaped that way in the side poses, back poses as well, and in the front shots, but he did the only thing he could. He was dealt with these cards that he did. He can't change the shape of the quad, but he can add more muscle to it, and that's what he did. Upper body also is looking big. Look at his face though. He looks like he's bulking hard still. I mean, he definitely did get really watery, and the midsection, he's barely able to control it, to keep it, decently tight, but it's still, a little bit bloated, but it's good. He's controlling it. I don't think that's going to be an issue once he gets in shape, but yeah, his face right now looks so swollen, man. But I love it. I love to see this. This is how you grow maximally. I'm really not a believer in main gaining, in like staying lean and getting muscle on you. I mean, it's possible, you will put on muscle, but not the fastest way possible. That's the thing. If you don't have a show in mind, you don't want to look like this, like Blessing's face all the time because you're just trying to grow, then in that case, I understand staying leaner to be more presentable year round. But if you have a show in mind, if you have only 1 year between two shows, then do a hard bulk, man. Get as big as possible, as fast as possible. You're going to be looking like this for a couple of months, and then you're going to cut down. So it's worth it in the end, I promise you. And Blessing is doing that, he did that, and it definitely is working for him. But we'll see once he's actually on stage finally. I think right now he's definitely looking promising. Oh, and yeah, since I'm already talking about this, if you guys need a coach to help you with your bulk, you can hire me to help you with that. But keep in mind, if you're not already lean, I'm gonna get you shredded first. Not shredded, but definitely lean enough so your body is primed to grow, and then we're gonna bulk up, but slowly. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna be massive, huge, watery, a mess, but it's gonna happen slowly over time. But eventually, once you cut down again, you're gonna see a huge difference if you do things right. So if you guys need my help with that, hire me, DM me on Instagram, we can talk about that. Anyways, back to Blessing Awodibu. This is him right now. He's doing the New York Pro. What do you guys think? How will he do? Can he go against Regan, Nick, Martin Fitzwater, who knows who else, a bunch of other guys? Can he do well? Can he surprise? Whatever you think, tell me down below. And finally, for this video, we got a physique update from Samson Dauda, a current one, a proper physique update where he's showing basically everything in the gym right now at 6 weeks out. And I gotta say, the conditioning now compared to 1 week ago, a huge difference. A huge difference. He's definitely much, much leaner, and he's basically almost stage ready. Not far behind. I would give him a couple of more weeks to get in basically the same condition that he came to the Mr. Olympia. He could do that, 2-3 weeks, 3 weeks max. But he has 6 weeks on his disposal, so he can play with things a little bit more, or maybe he can push furthermore and get even more conditioned than he was for the Mr. Olympia last year. As you can see, the conditioning right here in the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back, very close to stage ready for Samson standards. So in 6 weeks, he can do, look at the arms, man, right here. Look at the arms. I don't know what he did to those arms, if it was SEO or just growth, but the arms are definitely looking bigger. I don't know if he has a pump right here as well, but the arms are definitely popping out. I mean, here on his physique, they're definitely looking better, definitely improved. And also, again, conditioning for this point in prep, it's unusually good. So maybe, look at the arms, man. And the chest as well, look at the chest. Damn, this guy is an absolute freak, basically. We have an absolute freak in this modern era of bodybuilding right now. I mean, we haven't really had a guy like that in a while. We had Hadi, a former 212 guy, Derek, same thing, Brandon, no legs, but I forgot Big Ramy actually. Big Ramy was a freak for sure as well. So after Big Ramy, finally, we have another monster freak, but I would say Samson definitely has like better quality and like better structure, shape, better aesthetics. So we have an aesthetic monster basically, which is amazing. But I really hope that he's actually gonna try and push to a new level. I hope he's not gonna be like, if I'm good enough, I'll win, so I don't need to be super impressive. I hope he's gonna go and like try to bring something new. Imagine Samson like super shredded, super ripped, like let's say Hari Chopin Arnold Classic last year. Just imagine how freaky would that be. And also, like, he proved to us at the Mr. Olympia that he can get leaner. It's not a genetic thing. Like, prior to the Mr. Olympia, some of us were like, maybe what we saw from Samson, maybe that's it. Maybe he can't get better. Maybe his conditioning is simply, that's his maximum conditioning. Maybe his skin is thick and stuff like that. But that turned out not to be true. He can get more condition if he's willing to dig deeper. So maybe he's going to do that for the Arnold Classic, maybe for the Mr. Olympia later in the year. But just imagine him, this freaking monster right here, if he was like super peeled. That would be something insane. But as of right now, it's 6 weeks out, conditioning better than usual, size incredible, obvious improvements in the arms department. Whatever your thoughts are, guys, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys are trying to get as big as Samson Dauda, you should just try the same supplements that he's using, Hostile Supplements. There is the link down below. Click on it. It will get you to the Hostile Supplements website. And that's also a good way to support me and my channel. If you want to do that, just buy something you like and use the code EVEN10 for a 10% discount. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you soon, all the best, and bye bye.